We'll do a roll call.
Mhm.
Okay. Commissioner- Chair Bia,
Here.
Vice Chair Porter is absent. Commissioner McCormick,
Present.
Commissioner Zamora,
Present.
and Commissioner Gupta. Present. Sweet.
Great. Move on to Secretary's report.
Thank you. The agenda was posted Friday, March 6th at 5:20 p.m.
Great. Now, moving on to something very exciting. Introduction of our new commissioner.
Yes, so.
Hello, welcome. I'm assuming you have some words or something.
We have a brief item to introduce our newly appointed commissioner. As you may know, the city council recently appointed Makan Gupta to serve on the Arts and Culture Commission. This agenda item is an opportunity for us to formally welcome Commissioner Gupta and allow them to introduce themselves to the commission.
Great.
My name is Makan Gupta. People call me Mac. I came in this country 50 plus years ago and made Indiana as my home. Then opportunity came, then moved around, came to Gilroy, California.
Hmm.
My background is mostly manufacturing. I specialize in a metal finishing technology, waste treatment technologies, and industrial improvements and business management. And I'm married, 3 children, 2 are medical doctor, 1 engineer, Ohio, Houston, San Francisco, all scattered all over. And I'm glad I'm here. I love to be here. And I serve other volunteer job. I do volunteer work with the Gilroy Garden. I work with homeless people. I work with the seniors from Gilroy and Morgan Hill. And I work with a few other agencies. So objective is serve the community as long as we can. Thank you.
Oh man, that's beautiful. Thank you, Mac. I actually watched the meeting during which you were running for to get on a commission, and I was happy that to hear that you were interested, if needed, to kind of be placed wherever because you're just looking to serve. So that's exciting. I'm happy that you're here, that you landed here. So thank you.
And he
And-
loves Gilroy.
Yeah, I could tell. How long have you been in Gilroy for?
20 plus years, almost
Okay.
25 years almost.
Okay, nice.
First and last generation. We're gonna,
Yeah.
Your children will never come here.
Yeah.
You never know.
No,
Never knows.
I don't think so.
Yeah, no.
City kids.
Yeah. Yeah, so.
So was I.
Yeah, right? And then now you're back.
Yeah,
That's
So
what I'm
that's
saying, you
great.
really don't know.
yeah. New York City for forever. And then
Cool.
randomly to go.
And then now to Gilroy.
And I love it.
I was in
That's
Boston.
You lived in Boston?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Oh, cool.
See? And Gilroy, very, very calm, right?
This is beautiful.
Yeah.
So you don't hear any explosions ever.
Yeah. I don't want
Every night.
I don't want to take up you guys' time. What happened was, I was in Boston. And there was a company here called Indalex Aluminum.
Mhm.
And Indalex Aluminum, they have one plant in Watsonville. They were the biggest polluter in the county, in the Santa Cruz County.
Yeah.
There was a plant in Modesto. They were the biggest polluter in St. Louis County.
Yeah.
Wow.
And CEO for Indalex asked me to come here and fix those 2 facilities. And it took me about 4 or 5 months. I fixed both facilities. They were coming off. They were off from the polluter list, working fine. And
Wow.
then I have a new boss and from Canada, and he came in and he goes, Matt, I don't see you doing nothing. I says, what do you mean? He says, you make more money than I do, and I don't see you nothing. I says, well, you negotiate your deal, I negotiate mine. Maybe I'm a better negotiator. He said, I see you do that. And 2 weeks later, he fired me.
Oh my goodness.
And I went to work for US Foundry in Union City.
Oh, very nice.
Okay, and no problem because I have specialized skills. And then Bill DeConey called me. He goes, Mac, I need you back. Can you come back? I said, I don't think so. Both plants shut down. 800 people lost their jobs.
Wow.
The polluted water they were discharging.
Mm.
I felt so bad.
Wow. but now you're here with us serving our community. So I'm very happy to have you on our team. You know what I mean? So that's good. Thank you, Mac. I appreciate it.
And we also have Adam here today, our recreation manager. He also serves as a staff liaison to the youth commission
Yeah.
Very
and
nice.
Yeah.
library commission.
Me too.
Right.
Very nice. Thank you.
And in previous years, the arts and culture.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, very nice.
All
it
of
was
it.
with,
Mm-hmm.
you navigated that for us.
Mm-hmm.
You navigated for us.
So are you sitting in on the meeting today, or you have a presentation?
No, just to support
Okay.
Kylie and Stefan.
Cool. Nice. Thank you very much.
Transition, right?
Yeah,
I know, right? It might have some like, what do they call it? Like the trauma from him leaving us. What is it? What is it? It's like, yes.
It's still present.
Yeah.
It's here to dry our tears.
Yeah. So thank you, Adam. Appreciate it. Now orders of the day, I guess.
Did we want to talk about 8.2 during 8.1 or just keep them right after they're right next to each other?
Mm-hmm. Does it make any clerical difference or anything like that? Just keeping the same? Or is it
Yeah, no, we were going over the agenda earlier, Kylie, Stefan and I. Since this item is actually part of your work plan,
mhm.
it's gonna come up in
It's
the
gonna
work
come.
plan, so it's gonna be somewhat redundant.
Okay,
Yeah.
we could probably remove it only because, I mean, it's over already. But so if we just kind of like,
Yeah, but you could talk about it during the work.
Yeah,
okay,
there's a few things staff wanted to bring up during when we talk about it on the work plan item.
of course. That'd be great.
It'd be good to have an exit meeting as well. Just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
how did it help out?
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
What can we do for next year?
for sure. So then we'll cover that in 8.1 then.
Yes.
Okay. Great.
not
then-
to keep the order of the day, we did not approve the minutes.
The
that's
minutes
next.
is the next
Oh, got
item.
it, got it. Oh, I just seen, I'm up here, yeah, I approval of the
There
minutes.
you go. Yes, if we could have a motion to approve the minutes on 6.1.
Motion to approve?
A second.
Aye.
Thank you.
Aye.
Approve. Aye.
All in favor? Yeah,
Aye.
thank you. Motion passes. We approve the minutes. Now we can head over to public comment on items not in the agenda.
Yes, we have one speaker today. That is a Mr. Cornelius. Greg, let me go ahead and get you set up. I will give you.
Last Monday, the Gilroy City Council did a proclamation for the Santa Clara County Office of Education. The person in charge of the Arts Department for the Santa Clara County Office of Education, Dr. Sophia Fojas, was presented a resolution stating that this month, March, is Youth Arts Month. Great proclamation, and Dr. Fojas was very, very responsive to the Gilroy, and it's from the Gilroy City Council. You know, our city council members and our mayor is giving it to the Santa Clara County Office of Education, and she thought it would be best to give it to our Gilroy Unified School District, which is really neat. You know, it was nice for her to pass it on. So, because it says in there, you know, Gilroy, and it talks about the arts being promoted in the schools here in Gilroy Unified School District, and how important it is, and especially some of the special stuff that is being done through Christopher High and through GECA, after school programs. And so this is Youth Arts Month, and for those of you that didn't see it, it's pretty cool. It's, you know, you've seen proclamations.
Yeah.
Proclamation. You know, Red Cross gets proclamation. In fact,
I was here for that too. It's really well done.
you know.
Yeah.
And so the Red Cross will get a proclamation next week. You know, so it'll be nice. So we'll get a nice. So the proclamation, and so if you have any. If you want to, you know, follow up with the Gilroy Unified School District, working together with them is great. That's why and I'm involved, and I know Adam's involved with the recreation, because recreation, we want to get young people involved. And I was at the youth commission last night, and I said, we're parks. I'm with the Parks and Recreation Commission, and so we want to get kids involved, especially coming up for the summer. We want to get people involved in recreation and in the parks, in the trails, and so here's an opportunity to get young people to recognize, to acknowledge. So if you get a chance, you know, to let the Gilroy Unified School District know that you guys are we're very proud of this proclamation, and so we think people go, wow, this is a great proclamation. It's great, Youth Arts Month. So anyway, I was glad to see, because because there wasn't anybody here from Unified School District, so I was
Kind of empty.
yeah. So I was lucky that I was able to pass it on to the group, and so you guys, however you guys want to handle that information, great. But thank you so much.
I have one thing to say. I work with the veterans and the high schools. They have art, and we judge the art, and it's also literature, but the art. So I consider literature the same, and then they compete with the state and national level. And Christopher High School is very involved in it with the youth. And and then we have a panel, we judge it, and it's very exciting. It's been the last couple of years. Yeah, very, very, very responsive to it. Art.
Well, so if this commission does, get involved with the kids. That'd be great. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Speaking of, Christopher Hahn does have the concert this evening.
Yep.
And, they will be performing in Disneyland over the weekend, actually at California Adventure. So, yeah, the choir is going to be performing.
That's
there.
amazing.
Mm.
I'm excited.
Yeah, good stuff.
I wish I was there, but I'm not.
I wish I was there too.
Yeah, I needed to.
This weekend.
This weekend they'll be in Disneyland. Mhm.
I'm going to Disneyland this weekend.
Are you?
I'm gonna go.
Go find them.
Stay on the.
Yeah, stay on the agenda.
That's hilarious. You can't pass up that coincidence. All right. Old business. We'll do 8.1, our year work plan. Let's jump to that.
Yeah. So at the February 11th, 2025 regular meeting of the Arts and Culture Commission, the commission adopted a work plan for fiscal year 26 and fiscal year 27. And at the regular meeting on March 11th, 2025, the commission further refined the work plan and appointed committees. The work plan is attached to the staff report, and this will be an ongoing agenda item to discuss the work plan items and receive updates from any commissioners. Since we've had a few commissioners leave the commission in the last few months, staff is suggesting we select a lead commissioner for each item or a few subcommittee members. We can also add a status update for the Love of Gilroy event that will be posted on the work plan by the next meeting. Chair Via, were you comfortable going over the different items on the work plan?
Yeah, I think so. I think we'll start off with our most recent success, I would say. For the Love of Gilroy event. I know you mentioned there was some staff comments on that. I'd love to hear those. But it was. What do you think? What do you think? What was your
There's
take?
a lot of positive comments. I thought, the energy was great. People were really excited to see the runners up and their art presented. I think because of our location, it's good to keep in mind for next year that perhaps having prints of the winners themselves at the event, unveiling event, if it's not directly in front of the flags, I think would be helpful, because there was some confusion. People thought, oh, these are the winners, and oh no, actually, the winners are down the street.
That's a great point. Yeah.
Yeah, but overall, I thought it was a great event, and it was great to see people coming out even though it was a pretty brisk night, and
yeah.
they were thrilled to see the banners lining the street, and I thought it looked great too.
Yeah, yeah, brisk is an understatement.
Yeah.
It was good. I mean, for California, that's gold, you know?
Yeah,
So,
jacket and
Mhm.
like, I'm like short sleeves all day.
mhm.
So, yeah.
And we miss you, Camille.
That's why I didn't go out because of the weather.
Oh,
And
that's
not
what I
because
thought.
I'm weak, I just didn't
No,
like it.
no.
Everybody's sick, so I said, no, thank you. I better, and I'm. even
Agreed.
weak.
No,
Sorry,
no, it's real.
sorry.
No, no, no. I assume if Camille's not there, it's for a very good reason. So, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's a good reason to me. No, I appreciate it. And Mac, I don't know how much you know about For the Love of Gilroy, but I could give you like a little overview. So the For the Love of Gilroy public art campaign is a project that we started. This is our second year, so we started it last year, and it was an attempt from the commission to be more active in the community and joining with the artists of the community, like working together on that. So we decided that we would throw or do a call for arts for the under the theme of For the Love of Gilroy, and we opened it up to all community artists of all ages from different schools, different community. They didn't have to, as long as they either lived or worked or went to school in Gilroy, they were within their ability to submit a design. I believe in the first year we had like 60 something. I'd have to double check the numbers.
I feel like it was
It's pretty good.
less than that, but then what was this?
This year was more.
Yeah.
This year was like, I was gonna see like 70.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah, I feel like the first year was in like more of the 50.
Yeah. So we've gotten now in the 2 years over 100 submissions, and so the cool thing about that is that we decided that it took us a little while to figure out sort of the funds available to us to produce something like this. And once we identified those funds and how we could use them, we devised this project so that way we could do the open call. We selected 14 artists the first year. They all received $500 for their submission or for the winning submission. And then we created new banners for Downtown Gilroy. So Downtown Gilroy now is currently on display now 28 art banners. And so those for the first 2 years, and now you get to see local artists get to see their art in Downtown Gilroy for a few months now out of the year. So
Excellent.
yeah, so that was an exciting like win that, it was like, all right, let's do this again. Which also led to other questions of like, how do we fundraise? Because that money will eventually go away unless it's replenished through other means. And so with that work, we also helped to push into the next phase, which was like our fundraising policy. So we actually this commission has the what do you call that? Not the right, the to fundraise. Like no other commission really could do like fundraising efforts. I don't know what to call that word.
The ability.
The ability? Sure, we have yeah.
City council approval.
Yeah, so we have the ability to fundraise, like other commissions don't really have that task or ability, we do. And so we needed sort of guidelines for that and how to be able to do that. And so part of the work plan now is also some of those things that we might be able to use as a fundraiser so that we can replenish funds for the Love of Gilroy event or other things we want to put on.
So there is a fee that people pay to be.
To submit?
Submit?
No submission fee. Yeah, and we've gotten a lot of really good like youngsters like submitting. Two of the runners up were I think they were either elementary or middle school. I think it was elementary. And they were so excited to submit again next year. They're like, we're gonna try again, and I thought that was really cool. And depending on, I don't know how many we might need to install more light posts at some point, so we can add more banners, or do 2 waves. I don't know. We'll figure out when we get to that point. But yeah, it's or maybe we just need to find another canvas,
Or just have that year's winners.
Yeah, it's true. On rotation.
Rotation,
Mhm.
yeah.
That was a great point. So that's just the background on the For the Love of Gilroy. Thoughts on the on y'all, I think you had said there was some comments.
Yes, staff is recommending the commission, talk about next year's event and whether you wanted to keep it in how we did this year in February, but last year we did it in the fall time. And then also council instructed the Arts and Culture Commission to create in the next program cycle 2 award categories, one for adults and one for youth.
Yeah, yeah, I really appreciate that because I knew we felt like organically we might get some youth in there, but I think just to be more equitable, to just really like have a specific one for youth, and I assume at some point we'd have to define what that word means. Is it just under 18? Is it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we have to define, what youth, what age youth is the cutoff, right? And then that way we have and then like what is the percentage or number of banners dedicated to the youth ones versus the adult
Mhm.
ones, right?
Yeah.
Is that something that is basically up to us to consider now, or is that something to bring up down the road once we get closer to doing this again?
I would suggest maybe we talk about, or the commission talks about when they want
Right.
next year's event to be,
Mhm.
because that will determine
Right.
the other scheduling items.
Makes sense.
One of the most pressing items we have is the actual production of the banners themselves.
Mhm.
So that's something that we
True.
should.
Could we use a data from last year? And when we had a lot of participants and see what age and how many people from each age category, that from the data, we may be able to figure out what percentage coming from what age group.
Mhm.
That may be a guideline for the future
Mhm.
to consider.
I love
We've
it.
got 2 years worth of data, actually.
Well, that's not a data, right?
Yeah.
So that will tell us, what age people are interested in. So we can make a group from there. Thank you.
Was it one of the questions on the application? Like when they were born?
We do have the ability to see who was, yeah, because if you're a minor, then I had to
They had to get
go through
special
their,
permission.
yeah, we had to go through
That-
the parent or the guardian, correct?
So that's something that staff can provide at the next meeting.
Yeah. Yeah, if we can have that, that'd be good. And then we'll know kind of proportionally how many awards we want to give to what age group, to the
Mhm.
youth and then the adults.
As for timing,
Yeah.
well, just from taking Mac's idea of our data, we were kind of crunched, at least this year. Having in February, we had to have a couple of special sessions. And having printing and marketing happening over kind of the holiday season, I think had some pluses, some minuses. Plus being that we had some FaceTime at an event over Halloween, and that drew in a lot of interest. But we didn't have a lot of marketing materials with us at that event. So, in the future, whenever we do have it, having enough time to have those marketing discussions and not have it be crunched up against a holiday, I think
Right.
will be smart. Maybe even having it at a warmer time of year is
Yeah.
that idea too.
I agree. There's probably one guiding, I think, timeline, like anchor for me, and that it feels like the school year. Like
Yeah.
if we're gonna really make it available to youth in school, that I feel like we should be cognizant of when they're gonna be hitting summer. Do they have enough time to get it done before they hit summer, or do we say actually summer is a great time? No matter where they are in the world or whatever they're doing, they can just focus on that, submit something in, or does that make it harder, right? And
People scatter.
yeah, people scattering, so.
And we don't have as many meetings then.
Mhm.
I would propose something like, March or fall. Like March, April, or fall, like October. That way they're kind of into the school year. And we're into, we at least have had a couple sessions. And if we need to put things over the summer, that's a little easier to crunch in than it is over Christmas. When people's schedules are really kind of cramped.
The few thing happen, for example, if we consider, just throwing that loud, Gilroy Garden, for example, owned by the city, and when it opens in March, generally it's a free day, and most of the Gilroy is there, so we can set up a table there and promote that. Second option is they have a natural science days that Raksha, my wife and I, we work very heavily on with the students. We do the teaching on rocks. That's what in charge of for quite a few years. And during those days, all the schools come in from the Gilroy and other communities. Depending on what school they're coming, information is available. And we can always set up and pass those on to teachers and students and parents and people coming there. So these are few things, since Gilroy Garden is owned by the city, right? And our mayor is on the board. So if they agree, we could do something there. And I won't, since I volunteer there also, I wouldn't mind attending, standing at tables and participating, whatever council want me to do.
I love that. I think that's when is the science, the natural science camp? Is that in the summer?
Hey,
Oh, that's in May. Yeah.
I'll give you the dates as they come.
Okay. Yeah.
800 students per day come there. And, it's very challenging, very nice, fun time. My wife and I are doing it for quite a few years.
Natural Science Day.
That's
Is
what
that
I
what it
say.
is? Right, cool. Is there any concern there at all, or any thought from the staff side?
So would it be promoting it or would it actually be, so just be promotion?
No, go ahead.
Or, oh,
Yeah,
no, I wasn't
please.
sure, was it promoting or hosting it at it wouldn't be hosting,
Table.
oh, just.
They're expecting promoting,
Okay.
looking for participant and promoting. It will promote the city of Gilroy. It promote this commission. It also promote the value of art for the city. So that's what I'm thinking.
Youth.
And I think usually in our promotional capacity, we like to provide templates for youth to take with them, or even if there's some time and breaks in between, you want to take a little break from science, draw one of these banners, have some. So it's like a part activity, part promotion that could help.
Yeah, the way this program work,
Yeah.
the boss will come in.
So we should definitely update that.
The way the group of student comes in, and they're divided into 6 groups. And we have 6 classes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then each group go to number 1, second, go to second, and third, and fourth, and they keep rotating until 1 o'clock, they're all done. Then they have a lunch. And teachers there, and chaperone, and so we can do it any way we want. It should work because they're all into mood of having fun and working. And teachers there, parents there, chaperone there, very well organized event by the city of Gilroy.
So this all begs the question then, or if we were to have 2 separate events, like, or would it be one event with 2 separate categories? That seems more feasible. If that's the case, I mean, we'd need to turn around ASAP because
Yeah,
Gilroy Gardens opening is this month.
you said May is when this is.
The opening day is this month,
Oh,
and opening day, they generally have it free for Gilroy.
oh, so when do you do this other?
The other one is in exactly so May sometime. They only do it like on Fridays, Thursday and Friday, right? 1 day a week, and they do only for students there. And the Gilroy Garden does a very good job on National Science Days. Very organized, very disciplined, and handled by teachers and chaperones and volunteers like us. And it's just amazing. And I would invite you guys to this year when it happens. Come and visit us.
It's a good idea. I like that.
Back to your comment too.
I mean, the tough part is that I don't think we would necessarily have to hit the ground running like tomorrow because we did this year's already, if I'm right. So this would be for next year's campaign. So if we want, so this gives us basically some months to plan and prep, and if it is that we start promoting March, which is Youth Arts Month, right? So now we know that for next year, right? We could promote this as part of that, and we Youth Arts Month kind of, which is funny because April last year and the 2 years before that was Arts, Culture, and Creativity Month. So March, April is just art. It's just that's a great time to kick things off. I feel like so. I think if we got our plan together and we figured out sort of if we needed to do some fundraising for like the next 14 banners or et cetera that we needed. So then we can work out what does the rest of this year look like as far as our fundraising needs. And then we can start up again March 27 with at Gilroy Gardens, like you mentioned, and then maybe in May, and then maybe we just cut it off. We do like March, April, May, June, when school's out, they like closes. And then we have some time ourselves to kind of let that kind of go through where we select, we produce, and then, what is that? September, when school's back in order, we kind of kick things off with an unveiling or something.
You're talking about, so we had our most, so basically you had 2025s in April, correct? Oh, no, yeah, as we just did a
25.
2026 last month
Yeah.
in February.
So you're
But it was
saying when we
really
started?
for what we started in
Yeah,
2025 for that.
yeah, I know.
So we need to start
Yeah.
something for this in 2026 for something for 27. So basically, we would, like, are you saying we can get started promoting it now for something in the fall? Or
What-
are you saying
I would say that
wait another whole year?
basically we start the promotion. Basically, we adjust our schedule back into a year right now because it started the process in 25 and finished in 26.
Yeah,
If we are readjusted to then start in 27 and end in 27,
Mhm.
that way after that, it just happens within that year instead of it kind of scaffolding
okay,
over,
I see, see.
So
Yeah,
this
yeah.
could be like just a little bit of, gives us some breathing room to get this stuff in order. It sounds like we're gonna want to do some more collaboration, so building connections
Yeah.
with Gilroy Gardens, with GUSD. And then, so that'll take a little time, I feel like, too, to be able to do something like that.
Sure, so that being said, the unveiling would happen when? Cause remember, kids get out of school in June,
Mhm.
and so you'd wanna have the event before they all scatter and, go on vacations and things like that.
The,
But I'm just thinking in terms of like,
A year.
if there's a promotional thing in May, that doesn't give, unless you're doing it in the fall.
yeah,
Right.
so it's when they get back from,
When
it's
they
when
get
they get
back
back
from
to
fall.
school, yeah, back from the summer.
Okay,
So then
a
unveiling.
really long lead time,
Yes.
basically.
So it's like, yeah, if, I mean, we could look at I don't know how much time we left for submissions this year, I don't recall.
I was just curious, when did you actually start advertising this year?
It was-
'Cause it sounds like it was very
It
successful.
was,
Oh, yeah,
it was
both.
tight. It was like,
Yeah,
we started, I believe, in October,
this last year, yeah, but then the year before too, yeah.
and then had all, and everything was due in December. I think it was like
So it's about a 5-month time frame.
Like,
no,
Uh-uh.
2 months. Well,
no, like total.
From beginning to end.
Yeah,
So
like 2 months submission, like
Yeah.
basically promoting to submission.
yeah, but then in terms of getting the banners, having
Mhm.
the event, the celebration,
Right.
Selecting them, yeah.
selecting them, yeah.
Part of that was a little bit, I think, of holiday
Yeah.
causing a little bit more time.
And the
But-
production time for the banners was how long?
That was pretty quick.
Yeah, that's what I said. Well, it's
Yeah.
Melanie.
I feel, yeah,
So it's quick.
well, you know, produce. That's the thing too, right? Cause we can all like. That's a whole another conversation as well as like who are we gonna have to produce
Yeah.
banners moving
'Cause-
forward too, cause they weren't. Local. And so, but it took about like in total, 3, 4 weeks for us after we
This-
submitted, but then there's also like, hey, did you receive these? Okay, we have to come back up with proofs and then they put them in production, so I would say about a month in total.
Yeah,
Another thing to consider is this work plan goes through the end of fiscal year 27,
Which is June.
which is June 30th,
Sure.
2027.
So knowing all that, what Kylie is basically saying is just that
Right.
the event really would have to come to a conclusion by the end of the next school year.
yeah,
Yeah, because this commission will adopt a new work plan. When I say adopt, we'll recommend to council, council will actually adopt it.
Mhm.
hopefully we continue, this is an annual tradition, but,
Oh, yeah, I mean,
you know,
I mean, I've worked with many commissions where the events just roll over, assuming
Yeah.
that they're usually successful, so.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
But yes, we would want to have something, we wouldn't want something to straddle two plans.
So, I mean, you could, you could start, I think, around the same time frame, which is the beginning of the school year, early fall, and
Yeah.
then maybe instead of having it in February, because you talked about the weather, and also the possibility of rain. You're very lucky that didn't happen. Right?
Cause it
Yeah.
usually does rain.
It's a wet month, yeah.
Mhm.
So maybe March, April might
Yeah.
make more sense. So it gives you more time,
Yeah.
to promote, to get the word out. And
It's like
at
a last.
the Gilroy Garden Day, where all the Gilroy residents get to go for free, you can actually promote attending the event, so maybe get a bigger turnout and potential new artists.
Yeah, and then have, drum up interest.
Yeah, so it becomes a cycle.
Year after
Yeah.
year, yeah.
That's a great
Yeah.
idea.
So,
And the energy too, because February, people are still coming out of the holiday time regardless,
Yeah.
regardless
Yeah.
of age or whatever. So it's better to a little bit
I
like,
like that. So then would it just make sense then to kind of prep ourselves then for what is that? Like kickoff in September of this year of 26, right? And then figure out, obviously we'd like to get all submissions in before the end of the year. I think that makes them, I think that's what we did this year too,
Yeah.
right? They were
Yeah.
due in December. So then maybe it's.
We could have them do like December 31st or something, and that way we're reviewing them in
In our
early
January meeting, and then February, it could be for what, produce, selecting? No, we'd be recommending in February, and then our event could be in March. At some point, end of March, something like that.
March unveiling.
I think so. I think that kind of with the September to December kind of like a submission window.
Winter break.
Yeah.
does council get the final approval or it doesn't go to that?
Council
they do.
approves.
Okay, so you have to build in that time
Mhm.
as well.
That's true, yeah. That's true. So yeah, we'll recommend to someone to probably their second meeting in February or something like that.
That might be a little close for
Yeah,
the
for
submission of the banners.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Because if submissions are done by the end of December,
yeah.
we can come back around like first or we can have our January meeting be the one where we take a look at,
Where we look and we vote and all that.
and then from there we can bring it to maybe the second or the first. The second meeting in January or the first meeting in February for council.
Okay.
For the recommendation.
Yeah, we can, as long as we have our selections,
Mhm,
made
exactly.
or recommendations.
Yeah, everything, if we want to do December 31st, everything will be in for you guys to make your decisions.
Cool.
It's to start January.
In January, yeah, so then that way we submit to council in February, and then March, we essentially Cause in just even the end of January, we can start promoting the unveiling event, or the beginning of February, depending on when in March we wanna do the unveiling event.
Mhm.
Like end of March is probably a good time, just to give us the month to promote it and get people there. Yeah, true, yeah, that part.
Can't even let us forget.
Yeah, we have to make the banners, we have to make the banners. Yeah, once they're approved or whatever, and we get the feedback, the final approval, then we can produce them. Okay,
Wow.
that feels like it gives us a little bit more time.
Did we want to elect a lead commissioner for?
Did we?
Did we? Did we?
Hey, what?
Did
I'm not waiting on another.
Oh, is that? Oh, that's right.
Not
That's
you know.
right.
We don't have to do subcommittee members.
Yeah.
This
I
one,
think now, because it's
Yeah.
only 4 of us, 5
I
of
know,
us,
right?
sort of hard to
Good
have
point, yeah.
subcommittees, you know,
Yeah,
basically it's
But you could
almost
do
all of us.
one or
Mhm.
two, it doesn't have to be 3,
Mm.
it's up to you.
Yeah, I mean, I think realistically,
You're saying for the rest of the events or for this one in particular?
For any of them.
For any of them?
Mhm.
Well, maybe could we chat through the rest of them and then see if there's a need, see which ones we feel like we can prioritize? Yeah, so,
The thing too is the council's gonna be interviewing for 2 vacancies. So you're gonna have 2 more members, so.
when does that happen?
The next
At the-
meeting.
on Monday.
Oh, wow.
So for your next commission meeting in April, if everything goes as planned, they'll be seated.
Oh, wow.
oh,
Yeah,
great.
and so it may make more sense to
Great.
wait
Yeah.
to figure out who
Mhm.
wants to do what.
On
That's
a good
subcommittees,
idea.
yeah. I like that.
We do know that basically outside of For the Love of Gilroy event, almost nothing else can really
Yeah.
get done here and
Yeah.
unless we do a fundraising. We can't even have a fundraising gala because we don't have enough money to have the fundraising gala.
How do we have a fundraiser without fundraising?
Donation, remember, because if we given donations, I mean,
Yes.
$500 or whatever, it doesn't mean if there's money needed, you can.
Yeah,
just let.
yeah,
let
true,
it
yeah,
go.
we can get sponsorships.
Yeah, you can, definitely,
Uh,
there's a way to pull it
No,
together.
but I think it's the concentrate on the.
Yeah,
For the love of Dylan.
for now.
do we have those, at some point, y'all, I think brought the. How much money we have in our account, is that, do you have that there somewhere? Or-
Not in this
Oh, this
packet.
was a couple months back now, I think.
I think it was around 100 something dollars.
Yeah, so actually we're kind of jumping around, but the commission has an arts and culture commission account. And we don't know off the top of our head exactly how much is in there. But there's another account, there's a public art fund account. And we're gonna talk about that so I don't want to get ahead of us, but we'll talk about that in Lucy.
The last item.
That is how the For Love of Gilroy got paid. Out of, it was out of that account, because there's a significant amount more money.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. And yeah, I think that reminds me too of the new. Forgot the name of it. It was,
I was gonna say, but to answer your question, since April is the next quarter, we can provide you with a quarterly update of
Great.
how much is in each of those accounts.
well, it's good, okay, cool.
But I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, I was trying to remember if it was the word, it's a new
Inland.
funding source, that's like of the remainder, I think another 25% was gonna go to like public parks and
Yeah.
public art or beautification
oh,
of the
that was the
community.
recommendation that we had sent, recommendation to council.
Mhm.
Was for, 5% of the, end of year surplus.
Yeah, if there's
It
a
was-
surplus at the end of the year, it's already being I know that a portion of it is being divided, is set to pay off the pension. Another percentage now is going to be for park improvements. And then I guess you had, the Arts and Culture Commission had requested a percentage as well.
We did, but as last we heard,
I don't know,
council
we,
didn't take up the.
oh, there was
memo yet, So, or, I don't know.
there was, no, there was there was, well, I mean, of course, everything is about how you define it. But there was a funding source that did say, was it community beautification or what have you, which depending on how you propose projects, if it's a mural, if it's something else, even banners in downtown could be seen as beautification. So I think it just depends on how you.
Yeah,
propose it.
let's talk about this on the next agenda item.
Mhm.
This definitely falls within that,
Got it.
that topic.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Okay, where are we? So is there any worthy discussion to be had of the rest of these work plan items at the moment? Fundraising gala, well, we need to,
You know, it is on your work plan, so it would behoove you to at least. You don't have to solve what you're going to do tonight, but
Right.
at least, what can you do with it? Because it was adopted, you have until the end of next fiscal year, so June 2027. So we're talking about like a year, almost a year and a half. Is there anything that can be accomplished with each of these tasks, no matter how small it is, to at least, because sometimes these tasks don't get completed, so it does, again, roll over to the next fiscal year. And I can tell you, having been the staff liaison for this commission before, updating the arts and culture strategic plan has been an ongoing item, because I believe it was last adopted, I want to say like 2010.
2010, yeah.
Yeah.
I have the finder.
Okay.
So that's fun.
Yeah, all of you should. We'll send out a copy of it. It's not a very long document. I'm looking at it right now. It's 15 pages. It's online. It's on the Arts and Culture Commission page. So we'll send out a link to it. But yeah, this is from 2010. So it does need to be updated. The expectation wouldn't be that you're going to update it tonight or at the next month. If I recall, I wasn't here at this time, but I did work with someone who was, and it took them quite some time, and I think they even hired a consultant to help them
Yeah.
get to this point.
Mhm.
So, so, being realistic, but yeah, I think it would be advantageous to go through each item and say, listen, what can we accomplish
Mhm.
within that?
From this, yeah.
And then just continue to try to move forward with it.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's see, we look at the multicultural community days, was that one that
It's one that I had proposed, and so that was a proposal to basically host another set of events. And like For the Love of Gilroy event, this one was really going to be dealing with a lot of kind of promoting local artists, specifically local cultural dance groups, and having them come and teach a class, family-friendly class, to a performance and showcase their, costuming and their instruments. And, a lot of these groups also put on lectures, just not, heady, but, kind of talking about the historical background of how these dance traditions came about. And so I'd already done a lot of the legwork and researching different groups, mostly local groups, either within Gilroy or there's a couple that were in Monterey. There's one that was in Morgan Hill. And so, trying to pull together different, more of a diverse range of styles. So like folklorico and Hawaiian dance, and there's Bollywood, Indian cultural dance. There was even Ukrainian dance over in Morgan Hill. You could even, make an argument for hip hop and having, breakdancing or, actually California is more popping and locking, right? So you can bring those styles in. And so, either you have one group, for one day, or you have, a couple groups rotating. It would again all depend on the budget. Um, calling and budgeting out these things. I didn't want to start making a lot of phone calls and inquiring on behalf of the city, if not knowing, much of a game plan going forward. And since we were paused a little bit about kind of waiting on answers about where our next fundraising sources might be coming from, we kind of put this on hold. And Bryce really had stressed that, having some fundraisers and having a fundraising gala might be the next priority for the commission. And I would agree that we would need not a substantial amount of money, but generally, from my background as a dancer, well, groups usually, receive some kind of payment. And for a workshop kind of situation like this, depending on how many members would come and participate, it could run, a couple of thousand, up to 5,000, depending on how professional they are, how many members, how long they're going to be teaching and performing and lecturing and all of the above. So it would be, pretty involved, but at the same time, it could be kind of self-contained. In that a lot of the groups that I researched do all of the above. So, I could reach out to one of the Hawaiian dance groups, and they can bring their instruments and they can give lectures and teach and on the cultural significance and perform. And so we would just need, a venue for where we could have the dance class and the performance. And of course, we have a couple venues here that our city owned. And the recreation center has, I believe, some studios that would be, perfect for classes. And so, that plus whatever marketing costs would be on our end.
That's a question.
Yeah.
So, as you're talking, I'm thinking that, and I don't know if any of the commissioners have attended, but 4 times during the year at San Isidro Park, there's a community-wide cultural event. So the next one is Day of the Child, which I want to say is Friday, May 1st. And then we do another one in July. Actually, this year it's gonna be late June. It's called Party in the Park. And it's probably the biggest of the 4 events. And they have a whole segment of just entertainment. And so it's folklorical dancers, it's Hawaiian dancers. We had
Hula.
hula. We had the Hawaiian guitar.
Which is Portuguese.
Yeah. So
Anyway.
and we've had hip hop artists there. There isn't so much of a lecture opportunity
Yeah.
because it is a community event, and there isn't there might be an opportunity to add that in, but what might work for something like that you're describing is piggybacking onto an existing event that already has funding sources. And kind of and a built-in audience too. So you're not starting from ground zero.
Yeah.
I would say that anywhere from depending on a lot of factors, usually weather plays a big role, but you have anywhere from 500 to 1,000 people at these events.
Wow.
Yeah, so it gets a really good attendance. And then there's vendors there. There's lots of different agencies, organizations, police, fire. They're there. They're showing off their gear. What's that?
A community event.
Yes. So,
Yeah, on the same token, I'm just gonna throw out what we do, like once a month, right? We have a group of people from our ages, and we do karaoke. Basically, you pick anything you want and you do your karaoke, and we do that. Other part is we have a group of seniors. We do every month we meet for a tea and a coffee. And then like a last meeting we have, this lady taught all senior how to basically dance like a Bollywood dance, right? And she says, follow this, and very, very good at, right? One of the other uh, lady, she teaches a classic dances of India, and they're very high-end, high-quality dancers, very colorful costumes and makeups. And then we do a what they call Diwali celebration. Our mayor was there. I was with him this last Diwali, and it's a stage program. All kind of dance and music program goes on. So these teacher who lead this group are available, and I know some of them. Other I can know through someone, which is not a problem. Most of them will be willing to do it at a volunteer and without asking any money from us, right? So, and the program that we have done, like at Diwali, some other, they have they sell the tables outside as a people come marketing, insurance companies there, the some local restaurants there. So these people rent a table to promote their product, right? And this is how the money comes in. So if something that fits in and you're kind of thinking, then we can have some of those ideas looked into. Okay, and so we can look at the different culture. The Hispanic group do that, and Indians do that, and then yeah, people from Philippines, and you know, different, yeah, that'd be great event in multiple languages, multiple costume, colorful event,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
You do it
That
once
was
a
our
month?
thinking.
No, you said, what do you do once a month?
No, we
karaoke.
we do
Oh, the
we
karaoke.
do karaoke once a month. We do senior chai
So it's
once a
your,
month.
yeah.
We do a
your-
dancing once a month. We do.
Yeah.
I mean, old people have nothing else to do. We just do these things.
The Arts
We
Alliance,
keep busy.
the Arts Alliance is a great venue. I go
Yeah.
to everything there, but I don't see any, but it's a great venue, the
Yeah.
Arts Alliance.
And,
For this kind of thing,
Yeah.
actually.
yeah, I don't
And
know
that's
how.
contained, you know.
I don't know how they're gonna make money or not. And at the where we live at Eagle Ridge, right? This lady Mina, she also applied for this art and culture. She does a swimming pool, kind of a exercising in the pool for seniors, right? If that's something that culturally fits in, a swimming pool, we have a people sign up and pay for it, like at a exercising in the pool. She has our music, our microphone. She does a very good job. We do it every year, right? And it's what they call water yoga, something she call like that, right? So if that fits in into our money collection, right, at the pool, she will do that at no charge.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah, and she has applied. Her name is Meena Salil. She have applied for this commission. Okay, so she interviewed for it, and then all things goes. Very, very good at creating such events.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we've got some good ideas brewing.
That's the fundraising gala one.
I'll check out the San Ysidro Park.
Is there a contact we could,
Yeah.
we could?
There is, you know what, we'll send out a follow-up email and I'll include her name. Her name's Baranda Lopez, and I'll send you her email and phone number.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mac. Those were some great ideas.
Yes.
Gala, the fundraising gala, I don't recall who was leading that, but, at any point, if we needed to use La Casa again, I'd be down to give that, location for that, so yeah, a free venue would go a long way for fundraising gala, so,
Some nice tables.
You know,
You know?
it could be as simple as just at the next meeting, come back with 2 ideas. You know,
Mhm.
that you could realistically fundraise for, what would it be involved? What's the budget for it, and what's the goal, you know? So
Mm.
maybe just come back with, that could be the objective for the next meeting. Again, it doesn't have to be something massive. It could just be just following them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, agreed. And now, it would also be helpful to understand then the parameters or the use cases we would, if we'd be able to use that public art fund that you're talking about, and then how much we have.
So there are
access.
restrictions.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it has been used for the event, for the Love Gilroy event, which wasn't a fundraiser.
Yeah.
So, I don't think it would clear that threshold, for a fundraising event, but
Mhm.
it seems to be with anything with regarding to public art. Because these were banners, physical banners, you know, it met the threshold.
Met the requirement there. Okay. Is that some clear verbiage or like a guideline we can get? I feel like we might have gone over this maybe like last year or something like that. It would be good to kind of know
Yeah.
exactly how we can use
We
those.
can come back with some,
That'd be good.
yeah, historical document that points to that.
Okay, well then we'll look at that, and that'll also help us kind of wrap our minds around kind of what's possible there. Think we left the update, the arts and cultural strategic plan. We had kind of had that on as like a ongoing without a committee previously, which I'm fine, or a previous subcommittee previously, I believe.
That one was, uh, Commissioner Porter,
Mhm.
I believe,
Yeah.
was kind of driving that, but the last couple of meetings, essentially, we all kind of put everything to the side and went all hands on deck for the Love of Gilroy. So they're kind of now coming back into, you know,
Yeah, it's.
our subcommittees, and probably need to rearrange some chairs when we get our new folks.
I mean, what we could do for that is in that same email, we can send you the document. I'm looking at it right now. It's 15 pages. Maybe if by the next meeting, everyone can review it.
Yeah.
And then
That would be a
maybe
good
an
idea.
idea will sprout from it.
A good idea. So we have.
My profession is a writer and editor, so I know I had made some markups, I think, of the first couple pages, just as.
So you did
That's an example, just for like, tightening language and all that, but, I can talk to everybody at the next meeting if everyone would like, just to sort of discuss what, the way that editing works, usually you kind of look at larger content, big fixes first, and then you go drill down into, tightening things up and, copy, fixing commas and periods and all that stuff. And formatting, but,
And I'd like to get the 18 pages, so that'd be helpful.
yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. That way it becomes a broader conversation. Thank you. Great.
Okay, so then we'll look it over and we'll make sure that we do that. Like I guess I have a fat binder of like a whole history of how that came to be. It was from Lee Blattler. Yeah, she's provided. She was one of the on the team that created the 2010 to created that.
Yeah.
So
So this is really even more or less the executive summary. They don't call it that.
yeah.
The binder you're talking about, I have that in my office.
Oh, there you go. See, yeah, that's a nice one.
It covers much more expanse, but this gives you the gist of it.
Yeah.
And it is dated, very dated.
Yeah.
So it is definitely timely to start poking around on.
Yeah, and just slightly circle things that go, oh, we need to update this.
Yeah.
And I think, in general, like you said, we'll start with some bigger ideas about what does this look like? What does a refresh, strategic plan look like? What are the main components that we should be looking at? Right? We're only getting to this now. This feels like something that will likely roll into the next fiscal plan or the next commission work plan anyways. So as long as we kind of try to chip away a little bit, I think it'll be good.
Getty will be helpful.
Yeah. Mhm. Do we have that? Are you asking for it printed or email? Okay, I'm just making sure.
If you would prefer a hard copy,
No, no,
Okay.
you said you're
Yeah.
gonna email.
I'll email to you, yeah.
Yeah. Here, I love that.
Exclamation.
I said, great.
Okay.
Good, I love it.
You accent, you doing, but we, so great, thank you. That's great.
Awesome. Okay, let's see, the public art resource document. Yeah, so this was a document that we had talked about for some way of either like a resource or support for like what is the proper process of creating public art, what are the regulations, potentially also, which I know there was some issues around that, but other cities do have sort of like a curated list of pre-approved artists who have submitted and been vetted and do all this to have the right equipment and insurance, etc. And once they've kind of been vetted, they're on a list of potential artists and their styles, etc. So that if and when there's development projects, they don't have to go out and search from scratch. They have a list to look at, right? And I feel like that would be very powerful for as far as like just customer service to developers, but also just for creating real significant opportunities for working artists. So
I think we did talk about it being a little hairy to provide specific artists. Because we can't make it seem like we're endorsing
Yeah,
anyone. But at the very least, we could get started with parameters and existing artworks. You
Yeah.
know, that would be at least a good starting place. And then, digging into maybe some sort of application process or something.
yeah.
But yeah, I think we have to be careful about just saying, we know this person, put them on the list.
No, it would definitely be a stringent process of having applied, submitting, like we would create I was on the Public
Criteria.
Arts Advisory Commission for
Criteria.
the city of San Jose, so this was like a big thing, like they would lock in a list for 4 years, so they wouldn't have to do the process again. But essentially, those who submitted their application could be added to this list of however
So instead of
types of
reinventing
artists,
the wheel,
yeah.
you could kind of base it on this document that
Yeah.
City of San Jose
Yeah.
already has.
right.
And I'm sure there's other cities too, like Palo Alto or something,
Yeah, true.
They may have something similar too, so.
Yeah. So it actually has already, I get because we've been already been conditioned or accustomed to being like very like, oh, I don't know. But I feel like because I've already seen it done in another city, I know it's possible. So as long as we can kind of figure out how to adapt that for Gilroy and what would be the needs we would want there, creating that list, I think is like a nice objective or like deliverable that we could potentially have. Outside of also just understanding more for ourselves too, like the in Luffy and other things that developers are thinking about when it comes time to create public art, and or a private citizen who wants to create public art and what those processes are, if those still have to go through the same vetting processes as something that goes through the city,
Yeah.
so.
Just to piggyback, we just talked about the art and culture strategic plan. This might integrate
Yeah.
into that,
Mhm.
yeah, it might be
Right,
part
be
of that,
separate.
So,
Efforts different, then less energy,
Mm-hmm.
consolidated.
Yeah, I like that. So yeah, I think that'll be a good, you're right, because I feel like that makes a lot of sense to try to include, if that's gonna be part of like a strategic plan, like to include something like this where a resource is then available at some point, and then it's a program that can continue moving forward. So I think that would be a big deal.
Yeah. So that's one little note for next year.
I know, it's another little thing, it's a little thing, little thing we can work on. Little thing. Yeah, it's a little thing, we can work on, no big deal.
Oh, little chicken.
Alright,
To add,
yeah,
I agree with him now, to able to add these little intersex outfits.
yeah, it's perfect.
You know, it's good. It's very.
Especially with Parks and Recs, I feel like I wanna collaborate more with Parks and Recs, and it just makes more sense, so. Like you
There's
said,
some
if,
overlap.
you know,
Yeah.
so it would be really nice to understand, yeah, where those intersections are and how we can, like you said, piggyback and, you know, reduce the amount of energy, like, you know, like you said, you know, just like, how do we
Just get done.
consolidate, yeah, so. Okay, well, I think we're good with the work plan stuff. And if I can find the agenda again. Yeah. Okay, there you go. Working on, then looking into new business. So if we jump into new business, 9.1, inspiration of art and movies.
Yes, I have just a little background on this item, and then Adam also has some additional information for us. So at the January 13th, 2025, regular, or 2026, regular meeting of the Arts and Culture Commission, Chair Via requested to add a discussion on art in lieu fees. This agenda item is to introduce and discuss the concept of art in lieu fees. The commission can request additional information from the planning division, depending on the nature of the discussion as well. And as a general background, art in lieu fees are funds that developers pay to the city and instead of installing public art on project site. So if a development is required to include public art but chooses not to, they can pay a fee to the city instead, and that fee goes into funds that the city can use to create or support public art projects in the community, and that's just generally how they're used. And then Adam has an example, I believe.
Yeah, so in October of 2022, the developer DR Horton, they were developing something called the Cottages. I don't know exactly where that is, but it's in Gilroy. And they opted to do the in lieu fees. So some developers will actually hire a professional artist, and then they will go through the process of going to the planning department, and then it gets sent to Arts and Culture Commission. The artist will present the proposed project, whatever it might be. The one that I see almost every day, it's on 10th and Alexander, the Alexander station. It's that garlic piece that's hanging there.
Mhm.
So the other one is on the other side of the street, by that gas station on the corner.
Mhm. The little,
The garlic bulb.
the garlic rotating.
Yeah.
The wind vane or whatever.
That's public art. So the developer said this is what we're going to do. And oftentimes those projects are not cheap. They're very, very expensive.
Absolutely.
So and they can actually hold up the entire project. So the city would not be able to sign off on it if that public art piece is not completed. So the developer sometimes has motive to just do the in lieu fee. It's much quicker, it's more efficient, and it may not even cost as much, potentially as much as if they were to actually physically develop a public art piece or contract it out. So anyway, so DR Horton was the last developer that contributed a significant amount of money. It was $30,000. And when I talked to the planner who was working on that project to find out how did they come to $30,000, that's the next question, right? It was negotiated between the city and the developer. And then there was another one, a much smaller project, and I don't know what the details of that project was, but it was another firm called D&Z Design, and they had contributed $4,000 to the Public Art Fund, which I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
That's where the For Love of Gilroy banners got paid out of. We also have a bench plaque program. I don't know if everyone's familiar with it. Those funds go
Okay.
into this, and then whatever the bench plaque costs, we deduct it from the funds, but it's obviously significantly less than what the application fee
Huh.
is. Um,
We had talked about that as well, right? So come up with some scaling pricing for veg pot program.
yeah, it's actually been static since I've been here, and don't quote me, although this will. I think that came out of the original strategic plan, is to, yeah, but in terms of coming up with those ideas, how do
Right.
we raise money?
Right.
So you don't have to have a fancy galley, you can do something that's an
Exactly,
ongoing
the more
project.
consistent.
Every
Yeah.
park bench you walk by, see if there's a plaque. If there is, that's $600 that went into the public art fund. And there's
You know
quite a
that
few.
very well. She got her own, she had her own.
Yes, she
No,
did.
yeah, but my
I worked
mom
on that.
in the alley, my
Yeah.
mom and I are on that.
Yeah.
Nelson Hurricane, but that was $1,000 for
Yeah.
the alley. I'm just saying this,
Yeah.
but they were raising, and said, we want to put you and your mom on that. But it was $1,000 for that project. And that was quite a while back.
Yeah,
That's a lot more than the $600 one,
yes.
but that was for the alley.
Yeah, and so all of those funds go back into the public art fund. But when you have a developer who, again, does the in lieu fee, that obviously raises the amount that you have.
I have a question quickly.
Yeah.
When did this get introduced, the in lieu fee? Has that been since 2010?
Oh, the in lieu fee, I don't know. I don't know
Okay.
that,
I
that's,
don't, okay.
yeah.
Okay.
that is something that, developers and cities have.
Okay, because remember, we used to
Yeah.
get shown them what they were doing and we hadn't heard about the in lieu fee. Go ahead, keep going.
Oh, well, that's pretty much.
Yeah.
I just want to give you some recent examples. So there is a
thank you,
precedent
thank
for this. And again, going back to the strategic plan, this is something that can be, this could be like another section within
That you negotiate.
within that strategic plan in terms of how do you determine how much the developer
Yeah.
should pay if they opt into the in lieu
Yeah,
fees?
that's the tricky part.
Because right now there is, according to the planner that I spoke to, there isn't a formal policy.
No.
Right.
And that's the issue. I feel.
Yeah, so if there was, perhaps it may be more advantageous to the city, but as you can see too, just going back in the last 5 years, there's only
Right.
been two
Right.
times where the developer opted to do the in lieu fee for public art.
Mhm. Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's not often, it's not frequent.
Well, I mean, that's one of the reason why I was hoping to get more information on this was because, yeah, what were the parameters by which they came about, 30K to 4K, those are very different. I assume different size developments.
Yes, so that's usually, according to the planner, she had informed me that it's usually based on how big the development is. So I would imagine that the $4,000 contribution was significantly smaller than the cottages, which I assume is a much more.
Multi-house,
Yeah. But again, that's a potential policy that could come about is how do you determine, and I'm sure that there's other cities that have that. And that's always what I would always recommend is what do other cities do to give you some sort of benchmark, some sort of,
Right.
Guidance,
What's the percentage of if they do a public art work instead of the in lieu fee? Doesn't it have to be a certain percentage of the worth of the project? Or there isn't any,
I'm not aware of that.
which is why they can get away with making a leather vein and
Do you remember on the
Again,
public?
it's all part of the adoption of the project. See, it's all taken as one. So
yeah.
it has to go through the approval process, the planning commission, the planning department, the city's guidelines on public art in these types of developments.
Yeah, well, we were on the committee. They would show it. This
Yes.
goes way back.
Yes.
And they'd show that and come and the developers would come. And then it would
Yeah.
make this
So it's
series
usually like a small little
of approval.
sculpture. Yeah.
Yeah, or a big, some of it, yeah, but anyway, I think that's pretty neat how that's done. And then it gets approval for Gilroy, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, one of the things I feel like, I mean, of course, like you said, it hasn't been common. And to me, that feels like I don't know the analogy, but I feel like we're going after the wrong thing there. It feels like it would be, which of course could be I'm always thinking of stuff outside of the scope, outside of wild. Uh, it makes more sense for us to try to start conversations around what other cities call an impact fee of what more, say an example of what Morgan Hill does, 1% for fee of the total value of the development goes to public art. According to their records, the last fee that they received was $1 million. And that was because the development was whatever that math is, the 1% being $1 million. So that of course would go way beyond the scope of what we could potentially do as a commission, but it makes a lot more sense to kind of go for something like that and start pushing the ball on that and say, well, why are we going after, you know, $30,000 fees potentially on the high end when we could be looking at, you know, of course, like larger numbers and based off of specific percentages of the value of developments.
And we don't get the money anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So what do we have to do with it really? Because
exactly.
it used to be they had to present a project
Yeah,
as art and it doesn't exist. Now we have the option of the money.
yeah.
So, do we really want to be involved in it?
Of the
Because it doesn't benefit us.
well, no, that 1% would be for public art, which
Literally and figuratively, public art.
yeah,
So, how much is in the public art right now? Fee? Or you can come up with
Oh,
that?
it's
You're gonna show us.
so right now I have a rough estimate. And I say rough because it's not finite, but 43,000.
Yeah, but
So
it sits
30,000 of that came.
Yeah,
from
and it sits
Gilroy.
there.
It does, but look at For Love of Gilroy. How was it paid? It was paid out of
Yeah.
the public art
Yeah,
fund.
yeah. We could be doing a lot more if we knew how to access that money. I'm just.
Well, I think that's
with
the-
Conversations now, it's
Yeah.
interesting,
and that's why I think part of pushing something like this forward,
yeah.
we'd be at the helm of defining how it
Yeah,
is
we
we'd
can
access
actually-
those funds, what kind of projects they would be for.
43,000.
Exactly, you know, so whether it all goes into this specific fund or now there's a new endowment that is now sort of in perpetuity, kind of growing the city's money for public art, it feels like,
Scholarships for students.
you know, exactly.
Art students.
So,
At least, yeah, I know. what that-
so the hope is that to me is like the bigger picture or the thing that feels like, you know, that's the moonshot, you know, like going for something like that, which of course starts somewhere, but even still, that could be part of this larger, you know, what, you know, the other project that we just talked about, that was also a small project. Yeah. Yeah, the, what do you call it? The strategic, the arts and culture strategic plan, that one.
Yes.
Yeah, so, yeah, because it just makes sense. Even for this, a small win would be to just define what is the amount that is required, if it's a percentage, if it's a whatever, right? We do know that it's over what, 25 units, have the option, I believe, or some development over
It could
25 units.
change on a dime. Come on, you guys. Do you know what
Yeah.
developers do?
Yeah,
I mean that. So
Yeah,
we
yeah.
can't define it. They
Yeah.
define it
yeah, so it just
to the
depends,
city.
exactly.
I'm sorry, but it's fact.
No, yeah, it's true. So, you know, my thought is like, if we can, it's easy, well, I understand that that becomes a certain kind of relationship with developers, but our job here with the commission is to make sure that we're advocating for public art on behalf and recommending that to our city so that our city can benefit from exterior
has to be
folks coming
voiced for
in.
that.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, is there not an Amazon data center being built here shortly? That could, if we could press on that, that could be.
But that's not an art
Enormous.
issue. I mean, not that it's,
The
no, it's interesting.
Amazon, they have paid $1 million for the files in the,
It has to do with
Mm.
fees.
one of the meetings, so the Amazon is paying $1 million already to the city for the, you know,
Yeah,
so.
There's just some thoughts.
some thoughts.
Fascinating.
So many thoughts.
Yeah. We've had quite a few.
A few of those.
When you know the story of Gilroy.
A few of those.
No, that means we follow.
We're more community oriented.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, well, I appreciate that information.
Yeah, thank you.
And also, that estimate too of the monies in that account. And yeah, as long as we can get just a clear verbiage on how or what's possible, like the use of those funds, that would help us kind of execute on some things, I feel like.
Help a lot.
Yeah, and I think does that take us to the end?
Now to the art related.
Okay. Number 10. All right, so we're at 10, Gilroy Art related community event updates.
Well, I already made my announcement, I guess, which was that this evening was Christopher High's concert, and that they'll be down in Disneyland performing on behalf of the school. Actually on stage at California Great Adventure, and then doing a Disney soundtrack workshop. Yeah. Yeah, Stefan knows a little bit about that.
A little bit.
Yes. And they're also doing a choir exchange with Cal Poly, so should be a great weekend with kids.
Thank you for
Cal
being
Poly,
here.
you didn't have choir, people go to Cal Poly in the day.
Mhm.
So that's good. I'm just saying. It'd be
Yeah, the
great.
Cal Poly was always a
It-
fun
it-
trip.
that- I'm saying, love it.
Yeah.
Getting that
It's an
that growing on it.
incredible like space to performing and just watch.
That's
And so yeah, that's neat.
Yeah,
Happy that
you
you
bet.
were
You bet.
to experience that.
We have the La Casa presents La Marcha Sigue, which is our third Friday activation at Casa de Cultura or the Willie House. So we activate it at least on third Friday was kind of like our bigger event, and so this on the 20th is Teatro Visión is coming from San Jose to present their last play that just closed out. They had so much requests to like do it again that they thought about coming out here to Gilroy to do it at La Casa. So they'll be out there in the backyard performing their hour and something change play for the first time out of their theater. So I thought that was cool. And then we'll also have some other local poets doing like performative readings of their books. So that'll be fun, and food and drinks and
Nice.
joy.
Yeah.
Saturday the 14th at the Arts Alliance, 1 to 3 is a student art.
Oh yeah, is that the opening?
Yeah,
That's the opening.
yeah, well, the opening.
Yeah,
1
nice.
to 3 on Saturday
Mm-hmm.
at the Arts Alliance.
Love that. Any other events
That's
we can think of right now?
okay.
Alright. And just third Friday art walk in general. So a lot of the different downtown establishments kind of activate on third Friday, making downtown kind of come to life regarding art. And so people will express different venues will kind of express that differently. So I don't know if have you ever been to an art walk?
I haven't done.
Yeah, third Friday art walk. Just walk downtown and then see what you see. It's kind of a cool.
So it's every month?
Yeah, every third Friday. Yeah. Well, March to October.
Right, it's starting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the first one of the year. So, and that'll be it.
Both off that little Fifth Street section.
Mm-hmm. Next, we'll go to commission comment. What do we do there? Comment on. I feel like we had a lot of comments. We're commenting on.
Part of our group, and I think you could add as part of the explanation of things. And Kylie, thank you for taking charge. That's my comment or my comments, and of course. No, this is
Greatly done.
look at me, God, look.
Yeah.
Thank
A
you.
full table here. Very
Thank
nice.
I, from my side, this is a very unique experience for me. I think the California to come together, do something for art and culture, right? This is a huge, we are living in a town and state where there's a whole world coming to the town. and different language, different way of living, different food, a different way entertaining, being a part of that. And I'm one of the person who been dropped in here from overseas. This is amazing. I'm very excited to be part of this group, and hopefully I could contribute positively.
Well, thank you. That's-
Thank you,
That's
Mike.
awesome.
Appreciate it.
Likewise.
Anybody else have?
Yeah, well, I guess it's more of a. I guess it would be too late to add as an agenda item, but it was something that I mentioned in the email, so just. Being able to, if you haven't already, to just look at we make sure that we look at the draft, the environmental impact report for the
Yeah,
Civic Center,
IR.
for the Civic Center master plan. That way we can kind of form some type of feedback individually, not as a commission, because we didn't put that on, but individually, we should have some thoughts.
They're
there,
gonna
so.
tear down our bomb shelter. You know what he told me? It'll take 1 day to do that.
Oh, yeah?
Can you believe that in that building, our.
Is it Wheeler?
To build that thing and it's a bomb shelter?
I was like,
Oh, it'll be
Wheeler?
down in 1 day. I just say, I have no comment.
I feel like we shouldn't be tearing that down right
Fast,
now.
fast,
Build one.
Yeah, really.
fascinating times. Fascinating times.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
All right, staff comments then?
So going off of what Ruben said, the review period to submit your comments for the environmental impact report is March 27th. And all the information on the document itself and how to submit is on the city's website. That's something we can also include in our follow-up email. And then, written comments will be submitted to, Ryan here, a city employee, so we'll send his email as
Thank
well.
you, thank you.
Awesome. We good on comments? Okay, thank you. You're like, I'm all fresh out of comments. Future agenda item requests, any from y'all?
Nope.
Not
We have a
deeper.
lot to read and put into the speaker.
So,
Right.
all right,
Take a deep breath.
well then take a good deep breath.
Yep, wonderful.
And we call it meeting adjourned at 8:05.
Yeah, awesome.